We'll start. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So today the sutta we are going to take is Majjhima Nikaya 111, Anupada Sutta. That is one by one as they occur. So yesterday we had a teaching of the Buddha of how to split the thoughts into two groups. One which is useful for us, one which was not useful for us, or one skillful and unskillful, wholesome or unwholesome. So in that way we split our thoughts. Now what it is showing is the whole process of the practice of meditation. So jhana we mentioned is the understanding, levels of understanding. So when there is a first understanding, what is that in your practice that you see? If your understanding level is growing, there is something which grows in you, and that means that you are able to drop something. And then understanding grows, and then you are able to let go of certain other thing. So one way of saying is that you are going up the chain of understanding. Another way of understanding is that you are letting go of certain things. So you likes to kind of mention it as giving up of something. So I'll explain how it is happening. So there is a lot of repetition over here. So some of the repetition we will kind of reduce. But the overall the process of the practice which is there is mentioned in this teaching. Now, tomorrow I'll take how the whole teaching of the Buddha is also a step-by-step process. So this, your development of your understanding is a step-by-step process, but the practice of the whole of the teaching is also a step-by-step process. So tomorrow we'll go by that thing, and we will go through how the Buddha is teaching to everybody. And I'll also parallelly kind of compare with our kind of retreat. You know, all the factors which are there is still available when we are doing this retreat. So, thus have I heard. On one occasion, the Blessed One was living at Savatthi in Jetha's grove, Anatha Pindika's park. So, I just wanted to, if many people may not know, what is Jetha's grove, Anatha Pindika's park. Anatha Pindika was a very generous merchant. He used to kind of feed the people. So the Bhante said that at the time of the Buddha, a person was considered rich by how much he can feed others. So there were, say, a town was there. There were 4 gates of the town. So if the person became rich enough, he would have open a kind of a langar, we call it in kind of Punjabi call langar. So in that same way, they would open a feeding station on the say western gate. So if he becomes a little more rich, he will open it in the eastern gate also. If he is much more rich, he will also open it in the northern gate and in the southern gate. And if he is very rich, he will also have one besides his house. So Anathapindika had all those 5, but he had all these 5 in any places where he did his business. So he was considered Anatha. Anatha means the person who does not have a what do you call it? Shelter. So the person who does not have a shelter, he feeds them. So another Pindika wanted to give the Buddha a place to stay. Jethas was the prince, and he had his park which he had. So he said he was very arrogant person. So he said to another that I don't want to sell it. He said, you tell me the price, I am willing to pay. So he said, okay, cover the area with gold. The amount of area you cover with gold, I will sell it to you. So another Mitika was so rich that he actually got a bullock cart full of coins, gold coins, and started putting the coins. When Jetha heard him, he came on his horse riding and seeing that how can somebody be so audacious to kind of cover the land with gold. But he was also conscientious. So he said that, okay, whatever amount you have put down, I am selling that land to you. The rest of the land I donate from my side. So that's the reason there are 2 names over here. that is Jethas grow, Anathapindika. So they kind of, and Buddha spent most of his time over here. So many of the Sutta starts with this location. So it's a very important location where Buddha has spent a lot of rains retreats. The students, Venerable Sir, they replied. The Blessed One said thus: students, Sariputta is wise. Sariputta has great wisdom. Sariputta has wide wisdom. Sariputta has joyous wisdom. Sariputta has quick wisdom. Sariputta has keen wisdom. Sariputta has penetrative wisdom. So Sariputta was the right hand monk of the Buddha. So the Buddha says that any kind of Buddha comes, there will be two monks he will have. He will have one who will be a right hand monk and one who will be a left hand monk. So Moggallana is one who is considered the left hand monk, and right hand monk is considered to be Sariputta. Sariputta was accomplished in wisdom, and Moggallana was accomplished in psychic abilities. But both had psychic abilities and wisdom. So it is a difference which is minor, but one was considered to be foremost. So Sariputta was considered to be foremost in wisdom. So he had different types of wisdom. So some people have wisdom which is of financial wisdom, but they may not be able to communicate. But that communication wisdom somebody has, but does not have good financial wisdom. But he had different wisdoms. He had wide wisdom. He had joyous wisdom. He had quick wisdom, and had keen wisdom. Sariputta has penetrative wisdom. During half a month, students, Sariputta gained insight into states one by one as they occurred. So, when he was introduced to the teaching of the Buddha, Sariputta immediately understood what was the teaching. So Asaji was one of the five students who initially taught or the Buddha taught, and the five of the first disciples of the Buddha. So when he saw Asaji, he said that this person is surely an arahant, a person who has given up all craving. So he went and said, "Teach me the teaching." So he said, "I am not a teacher. You have to go to my teacher, that is Buddha, to learn." So when he told him a teaching in one line, he understood that teaching, that this is the right teaching which is there. But he went to Moggallana. Moggallana was his friend, and said to Moggallana two lines of the teaching. And then Moggallana understood that, okay, what is the teaching is there, which is the correct teaching. Then they went both to Buddha and became Buddha's disciple. So after he met the Buddha, he took Moggallana took 7 days to become awakened, and Sariputta took 14 days. That is 2 weeks, 15 days. That is half a month he took. So why did Moggallana, who was very was considered less wisdom than Sariputta, take with less time, and Sariputta took more time. Why do you think it is? Because he was analyzing everything. Okay, so even though he had very nice wisdom and he had sharp intellect, but when he was analyzing, he was going very deeper into the things. So certain times when we are coming in interviews and when we are speaking to you, we say don't go too much into the details. Just do the practice. So certain times when you go into details and practice, it may take a little more kind of time to kind of penetrate the practice. But his activity was to understand everything in detail. So that helps us because it will give us more insight into the whole states of mind which are there, because he analyzed them and recorded them. Here, students quite secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, Sariputta entered upon and abided in the first jhana, which is accomplished by thinking and examining thought, with joy and happiness born of seclusion. So, when there is no hindrances and you have secluded yourself, so how do you do meditation? You close your eyes. Don't pay attention to what is happening in the sound. You are not smelling anything. You are not tasting anything. You are not touching anything. And when there is a thought which comes up, what do you do? Siksa. Okay. So you are not thinking. So now, when you are secluded from sensual pleasures and secluded from unwholesome states as of craving, aversion, sloth and torpor, restless mind, doubt, when all those things also go away, then you enter into a state of mind. And in that state of mind, there are certain characteristics which is there. In that state of mind, you can think and examine. So now, when you get thoughts, say maybe you get a image, okay, you get an image of a lion, and then you said, oh, why did I get the image of the lion? Or oh, I saw this lion in this zoo, and you have a story about that going to the zoo or something like that, and then you kind of examine that and you kind of think about that. So now what has happened is when there is an initial thought and then there is a recursive thought which is happening, or in the simple terms, you have seen mind maps. Okay, mind maps, you can put an elephant over there in the middle, and then there will be certain things which will come. Oh, the story of the elephant which is there, elephants which are there in Africa, there is something related to the tribes of Africa or something like that. Or there is diamonds in Africa, so with the diamonds or dimensions of forever. And then you have a story which is now you start from an elephant and you're going to diamonds and maybe different kind of area. So in that sense, our thoughts work. So that thinking process is still there at this point of the first stage, which is there. So thinking and examining thought is still there. There is joy which is there. So there is a little bit of uh, feeling of niceness, the happiness which is felt, that is also there. So there's a joy comes up, the happiness comes up, and you feel a little bit nicer in your practice. Now that practice becomes a little bit nice, and you feel a little bit comfortable with your practice. So that is the state of mind when you are there in the state of first jhana. And there are other states also in the first jhana which are there, and this you will see that they are common to many of the jhanic states. And states in the first jhana, the thinking and examining thought, joy, happiness, and unification of mind. Unification of mind is you are able to stay at an object of meditation. Okay, so it is not that developed because that unification of mind is there in different states. But this is a state which is of a certain amount of unification of mind. But this will grow as you are accomplished. Say if you are a cricketer, say, so if you are playing in the gully, you have some kind of skill of the bat. Now you go to the college level. Now that is a different skill. But you can say that you are skilled with the bat. Now you go to say the league level. Now you are in the league level, you have a skill with the bat. Now you go to a national level team. Now that still you have the skill with the bat. Now you go to an international level skill. So, but you can say that you have skill with the bat, but there are different levels of skills which are there. So this has the way the unification of mind is also different in different states. The contact. So what happens is whenever you have an eye, there is an object and there is a light, and there is an eye consciousness. There is a contact which happens. Okay, so how do we see anything? That is a part of dependent origination also. We will go deeper into this in a couple of days. So there is contact is there is feeling is there. So whenever there is a contact, there is a feeling which arises. This is not emotions. This is the sensation which we generate. It's a mental sensation. It's not a physical sensation, it's a mental sensation. That feeling arises. Based on feeling, there is a perception which is there. Perception is the naming of things. Volition is there. Volition is your making of decision. As we are have said before also. So when you recognize, you can release. Okay, that release is your free will, and recognize only can happen when there is mindfulness. Sometimes you feel that oh, I was there in the thoughts for half an hour or 10 minutes or whatever amount of time. But when you recognize, only then you can release it and come back. So that is the volition which is there, which is active in the jhanic state also. And mind. Then there is zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. So equanimity is also a different ways of equanimity. So one way of explaining it is in the first jhana you have equanimity of the one leg. So if you are standing in one leg, there is balance, but that balance is not so uh, good. So if it is equanimity in the second jhana is like balancing on 2 feet. You are balanced, but if somebody comes and pushes you, you will lose the balance. So equanimity in the third jhana is like a stool, three-legged stool. Three-legged equanimity is there. And in the equanimity of the fourth jhana, it's like this four-legged equanimity of a table. So it is much more stable. So equanimity also is a progressive equanimity which is there. And attention. So attention is the most important thing. So you can see that attention is over here and you can move your attention to something else. So that volition is also there. So that ability for your mind to function is there. Because there are certain practices, there are certain meditation techniques where the when pointed concentration is there, where you can absorb with the object of meditation. So if you are doing breathing, you just get absorbed in the breathing, and that is they are saying the is a jhanic state. But over here, the mind is not moving. There is no volition, there is no zeal, there is no enthusiasm, there is all those things which are there cannot be possible. So, but this is a different state. We are getting an kind of a feeling that there is this state which is there is a bit different, where your awareness is still there in this jhanic state of mind. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. So, as they occurred, he could define each of these things which are happening in his meditation. Known to him, those states arose. So he knew that this has arisen. Known, they were present. So when they were there, he was known. He was knowing it. Known, they disappeared. So it is also giving us a example of the impersonal nature of those things. So he did not generate it, hold on to it, and discard it. No, the language over here is known, it arose, known, it stayed, known, it disappeared. Okay, so now there is an impermanence also in this. So it was not there, it is there, and then it is again not there. So this has a impermanence also inbuilt, and also impersonality is also there inbuilt in this statement which he's saying. So he is saying that what states of mind are coming. That's the reason I yesterday was saying don't feel guilty of whatever is happening. Don't blame yourself. Don't kind of put yourself down, because all these states which are there have their causes and conditions to arise, causes and condition to hold on, and causes and condition because of which they go. Okay, so you understand how this mind is functioning. He understood thus. So indeed, these states not having been come into being, having been, they vanish. Regarding those states, he abided unattracted. So whatever was happening, he was not attracted to them. Unrepelled, he was not repelled by them also. So if there was some kind of a very nice feeling, he was not trying to grasp it. If there was a painful feeling, he was not trying to repel that feeling, which is there. Nice feeling also you may want to repel, but that is a kind of a neutral state. He is a kind of an observer state, he is there. So he stayed there unattracted, unrepelled, independent, detached. So whatever was happening, he was detached from that process of happening. Okay, so whatever happens, he is detached, free, disassociated with a mind rid of barriers. So what is the barriers which is that? These are the hindrances, the five hindrances that are barriers, which is called hindrances. What is the definition of one other definition of hindrance? Whatever hinders you is a hindrance. So this is Bhante Dhammagavesi's explanation. He says that whatever is being an obstruction to you is your obstruction. So it can also be something nice you are thinking about. Oh, I want to solve the world hunger. I have this idea, and then you are kind of going about thinking about that. Then, but you are not doing is your practice. So even a good thought which is there, you can put it aside. Say, Sister Kema used to say that you can make two boxes in your mind. One is a green box and one is a red box. So if the thought is good, you put it in the green box. And if the thoughts seems useless, then you put it in the red box and let that go. If it is reoccurring, then you can do that with the thoughts. So he is detached, disassociated with a mind rid of barrier. He understood there is no escape beyond. And with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed there is. So what he said was something I have gained, but there is something which is more, which is there. And only when he attained it, he knew that that is correct. Okay, so he experienced the first jhana, but he said something is there beyond this. And when he experienced it, then he said, okay, there is something which is beyond the first jhana, and that is the second stage, which is he is attaining. Again, students, with the stilling of thinking and examining thought. So now, in this, as you kind of go, there is two things he's dropping again. Huh? So out of the five things which are there are two things he drops, which is the thinking and examining thought. Now, a certain time it will reflect in your practices, your verbalization will become difficult. So you are saying, may my friend be happy. And that becomes difficult. You get some kind of tension when you are saying this wording. So then drop the wording. Just be with the feeling and with the intention of sharing. Then the verbalization becomes difficult. So that is when you are reaching into the stage which is the second stage. So that is the stilling of thinking and examining thought. It is also translated applied and sustained thought also. So applied and sustained thought. Applied is the initial thought which is there. Sustained is where how the thought is sustained. Sariputta entered and abided in the second jhana, which has self-confidence and singleness of mind, without thinking and examining thought, with joy and happiness born of concentration or collectedness. So now what happens is there is a little bit of I am getting some confidence in the meditation. Okay, I think I am getting a hang of it. Certain kind of confidence is developed when you are doing the practice. So that comes up, and there is a joy which is there. There is also the happiness which is there, and there is a collectedness of the mind which is a little bit more over here in this. And the states in the second jhana. So the states which are there in this second jhana is the self-confidence, the joy, the happiness, and the unification of mind. Okay, the unification is mind is the mind is able to stay at an object or kind of be with the task or the whatever your object of meditation is. It can be with that. And the states in the second jhana, the self-confidence, the joy, the happiness, and the unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind, the zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity. So equanimity is that over here, but it is a two-legged equanimity. And attention. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known they were present. Known they disappeared. He understood thus that there is an escape beyond this. So he understood that after the second jhana, there is a higher thing, something which is more. So he confirmed, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is. So when he gained the third jhana, only then he confirmed that it is possible. Again, student, with the fading away as well of joy. So now joy feels a little bit gross. Joy also has some excitement in it. So that excitement is also still. You will feel a little bit more calmer. Kind of this is a state where also you may feel there are certain things which you are not able to experience. Like when you are sitting in meditation, you may feel that you are not feeling the leg or the arm. You are not able to feel, or you feel like a floating head. All those kind of experiences also you will get in this thing, this state of mind. So the joy also is faded away. Sariputta abided in equanimity and mindful and fully aware. So the equanimity is still there. It is a much more stable equanimity. It's like a stool. Three-legged equanimity is there. He is mindful and fully aware. Still feeling pleasure or still feeling happiness with the body. So this happiness is like a comfortable body which is there. It becomes so comfortable. Sometimes you forget that there are certain things. There are the legs which are there, you forget, or the arms is there, you forget. So that is something you will gain understanding. So he entered upon and abided in the third jhana, on account of which noble ones announce he has a pleasant abiding, who has equanimity and is mindful. So the pleasant abiding is mentioned many times in the Buddha's teaching. So the accomplished monks who were there, they would stay in the third jhana. So there is equanimity is also there. There's mindfulness is also there, and there is it is a comfortable place to abide in. So they would kind of do the determinations. They would determine to be in the third jhana and stay in the third jhana. So the whole day they would do whatever they wanted to do, and they would be in this jhana. That's the reason it is called a pleasant abiding. So that is a the third jhana which is there, and states in the third jhana the equanimity, the happiness, the mindfulness, the full awareness, and the unification of mind. So in the third state of jhanas also there is full awareness is there. Okay, that is very important. And the unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind, the zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known they were present. Known they disappeared. He understood thus that there is an escape beyond this. And with the attainment of that attainment, he confirmed that it is. Again, students, with the abandoning of pleasure and pain. Okay, so now he has also given the pleasure or the happiness which is there. He has given up the happiness which he was experiencing. So happiness is also a state of mind which is there, which is grosser than the state he will, this mind is going now. Okay, so there is a happiness is there, and there's also what is there opposite of that. Huh? Craving is there, pain is there. So he has, when he's giving up happiness, he's giving up a pain also. So it is still a duality which is there. He's in the third jhana. But as his mind kind of refines, he gives up this duality of pleasure and pain, happiness and pain. That is something to give up. And with the previous disappearance of joy and grief. So when you are joyful of something, you can be grieving of something also. So that duality also he has previously given up. When he has given up on the second jhana, where the joy drops. Okay. So joy and grief he has previously given up. Now he is giving up this also. From the third jhana, he is feeling the pleasure or the happiness which is there. That happiness he kind of gives up. Sariputta entered upon and abided in the fourth jhana, which has neither pain nor pleasure, and the purity of mindfulness due to equanimity. So it has no pain, but there's no pleasure also. And there is purity of mindfulness which is there. So there is just little balance which is there. That balance is there, like you feel just comfortable over there. Okay? And the mind does not waver. The sounds which you are hearing, you can hear that same sound, but there is no liking and disliking of that sound. You may have the same amount of light, but there is no liking or disliking of the light. By the way, after the talk, when we are they close some lights, it is just to kind of aid in the meditation. So we are not closing it after the talk, so you can continue sitting. And if you want a little more lights, less light, you can say. But there will be no darkness. There should be some lights. Okay, there will not be no lights. So there will be some light. So anyways, so that kind of our preferences are there. Our preferences don't matter. So there can be a little cold, it can be a little warm. You are also just, oh, this is the way it is. You are in acceptance of that. That is the mind which is there. So neither pain nor pleasure, and purity of mindfulness due to equanimity. And the states in the Fourth jhana, the equanimity, the neither painful nor pleasant feeling, the mental unconcern due to tranquility. So mental unconcern is you are not worried about things. It feels like okay, it is okay. If there is noise, it is like okay, there is noise. If there is something which you don't like that is there, then you say okay, it is there. So there is a mental unconcern is there due to tranquility. Tranquility is the mind and body which is very comfortable. One way of explaining tranquility, the Buddha says is, say if you go to a lake which is the same temperature as your body temperature, okay, and you sit till the neck in the lake water, how would you feel? It's very comfortable because it is not cold, it is not hot, it is just your body temperature, and you feel it lighter, no? When you are in the water, say if you are sitting in the swimming pool, how do you feel? You feel a little lighter. So you have a light feeling, and then there's a just a comfortableness which is there. That is the tranquility which is there, which is he's explaining, and the purity of mindfulness, and the unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind, the zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known they were pleasant. Known they disappeared. He understood thus, and with the cultivation that he there is a escape beyond. So even in the fourth jhana, he said there is something more than the this which you have experienced. Okay. So at the time of fourth jhana, your practice will change a bit. Okay. So when we are mapping the jhanic states, we are also mapping it with our Brahma Viharas. So we start with Metta. So till fourth jhana, we stay with Metta. Then it automatically changes. The feeling changes to compassion, then sympathetic joy and equanimity. As you go in the next jhanas, your association, which is the mind association with the Brahma Viharas, will automatically change. You don't have to do anything. You have to just observe. Okay? You are an observer. So you are observing what is happening. You are not creating it. You are experiencing it. You are not generating it, but are kind of observing it. Okay, so you just observe and experience that what is happening in your practice. So now this is the fourth jhana which is there. Now fourth jhana has also one very important factor that the Buddha says is that when you have developed the fourth jhana and you are accomplishing fourth jhana, you can incline your mind anywhere and your mind can go there. So you can, if you want to accomplish anything in your life, you can have that mind state and you can incline your mind anywhere. It is like a pitcher which is full of water. Okay, if this cup is full of water, I incline it over here, then water will fall in this direction. If I incline it over here, water will fall in this direction. So wherever you incline your mind, it will goes. But what are we doing over here when we are coming into this practice is inclining to gain more understanding. So we incline our mind to go deeper, and it naturally will go deeper into the practice. So now Sariputta examined what is there, and then he is going to the different state of mind. Now there are two ways of explaining the next steps. Easy way of explaining this next steps is we are there in the fourth jhana. Now we go into the fifth jhana, sixth jhana, seventh jhana, eighth jhana. Okay, that's the easy way of doing it. And other way is saying that there are only four jhanas. In the fourth jhana, there are four mind states. Okay, now these mind states are without body, which is arupa. Okay, so the first arupa jhana, second arupa jhana, third arupa jhana, and then there is another state, special state which is there. Okay, we will go through that special state also of mind. So now, what states of mind we are explaining is without body. So when you experience those states, you will have more bodilessness feeling. So you may be more absorbed in, and you may not have any concern about the body also. Okay, and certain times you may feel that you are just mind and you are not able to feel. But say if a fly lands on your hand, you'll be able to experience that fly. Or if you say, oh, am I there or am I not there? Am I floating or something like that? And you put your attention where you are sitting, where you are getting the contact with the ground, you'll be able to feel that. So it is arupa, but that does not mean the body disappears. Whenever your attention is there, or you put your attention on the arm, you will be able to feel the arm. So that is. But if you are absorbed in the or with the object of meditation, then you will not even care of the body. If it is there, not there, your mind will not go there. Again, students, with the complete surmounting of perception of form. What is the this is what is this? It's a form, the body, the perception of form, with the disappearance of perception of sensory impact. So the perception of sensory impact which is there, that has disappeared. The sensory impact has not disappeared. Whenever you put your attention, that is there, because there is attention still there in this state of mind. With non-attention to perceptions of diversity. So you are not thinking many things, you are a collected mind, which is you are giving up the perceptions of diversity, aware that space is infinite. Sariputta entered upon and abide in the base of infinite space. So this is a state of mind where you may feel expansion. So this expansion can be felt in different manner. It can be that something is going and becoming more. So you may feel that the room is becoming bigger, or you may feel that you are becoming smaller in a bigger room. Okay, or you may experience you becoming bigger, and the room is very small to contain you. So there can be different ways of experiencing, or there can just be some spaciness over here. There may be a feeling of space. So the space of spaciness is a experience which you feel, but that depends on every individual. So don't be afraid. Don't try to control it. Don't try to suppress it. Just be aware, and it will go away, and then you will become comfortable again. So that experiences which are there is very individualistic. So based on perception which is there. So I have also experienced different ways this experience is there. But nothing is right or wrong. It is just your experience, and this is experience is based on perception. We'll go more deeper into perception and how individual perception is different, because this is based on your history. It's a kind of a reference book. Perception is a way of naming things, but naming things is also based on what you had in your past knowledge or awareness. That only you can name. So we'll go deeper into the perception and all this things. And the states in the base of infinite space, the perception of base of infinite space, and the unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind, the zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. These states were defined one by one as they occur. So all those states which are there in the previous jhana, is still there. Attention is there, mindfulness is there. So still you can direct your attention. Still you can see what is happening and make a decision. So that all the mind is functioning. It is still a functioning awareness, mind is there. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known they were present. Known they dissipate. He understood thus. And with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is. So he knew that there is something beyond that also, this infinite space. And when he attained that, he knew that he had attained it. Again, students, by completely surmounting the base of infinite space, aware that consciousness is infinite, Sariputta entered upon and abided in the base of infinite consciousness. This Bhante used to do this and say that this is 100,000 rising and falling away of sound consciousness. So you heard it. So everything which is happening only one time. So we can see only when we are seeing, we can only see. When we are hearing, we can only hear. Okay, when we are speaking, we can only speak. But we feel that we are doing everything together. How is that? Because it is happening so fast. So this is 100,000 consciousnesses of rising and passing away. So when you are in infinite consciousness, the infinite space, you had a feeling of space. Infinite consciousness, you will have a feeling of the arising and passing away. So it may be experienced as flashing. So you said, oh, is the lights not working? You may feel that flashing in your eyes, Or you may feel the sound is coming, but the sounds have breaks in it. There is like the sound comes, but it comes with the break. Or you may feel something in your skin, but that skin there is you will feel like somebody is tapping in that. You don't feel something which is like a constant feeling. So that is how you may experience this. And the feeling over here in infinite space is of compassion. Over here, it is of joy. The feeling also changes when you are doing the practice. So there is a little bit a feeling of joy which is coming up, and over here you will be able to see certain things arising and passing away. You can see a certain small mind state which is there, but everybody will not experience everything, and it will not be experienced in the same way, because each person will carry certain perceptions and certain baggage. So certain people may not experience the infinite space in that manner, and may experience infinite consciousness much deeper. Certain may experience infinite space in very kind of elaborate manner, but not experience infinite consciousness. So it can be individualistic. So everybody will not experience everybody. There is also individualistic differences which are there. But this is for us knowing. If it happens, then we know, okay, something is happening, and I can relate to what is happening with the practice. So that is the reason we go through all of this. And the states in the base of infinite consciousness, the perception of the base of infinite consciousness, and the unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind. So there, all those things which are there are still there. The contact is also there, feeling is there, perception is there, volition is there, mind, zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known, they were present. Known, they disappeared. He understood thus with the that there is a escape beyond this, and with the cultivation of that, he confirms. So he says there is infinite consciousness. There is something which is beyond this also. Again, students, by completely surmounting the base of infinite consciousness, aware that there is nothing, Sariputta enters upon and abides in the base of nothingness. So now the mind is giving up certain things, you know. So from the start, there was thinking and examining thought. Okay. Then there was joy and happiness. So joy is given up. Then the happiness is also given up. Now there is pure equanimity is there. Okay. Then the sense of form is given up. Sense of space is given up. Now there is nothing there. So all things are given up. Now there is nothingness. So there is nothing which is there as an object of meditation. You just feel a blank space. And over here, the experience is of equanimity. The Brahma Vihara which is there, we said it is Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekha. Loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy. And this is equanimity. So now you enter into equanimous space. There is nothing. But you are okay with it, because your mind is in equanimity. So even if there is nothing, there is certain things which are there. We will kind of discuss in interview when you are there. There are certain, so it is not nothing means there is nothing to do. There is still certain things which are coming and certain things which I have to do. So practice keeps on going. But that mind state is there. And in the states of base of nothingness, the perception of the base of nothingness and the unification of mind, the contact, feeling, perception, volition, and mind, the zeal, decision, energy, mindfulness, equanimity, and attention. These states were defined by him one by one as they occurred. Known to him, those states arose. Known, they were present. Known, they disappeared. He understood that there is an escape beyond this. And with the attainment of that attainment, he confirmed that there is. In the last row, you can hear me? Okay. So now this very refined state of mind where there is nothing, what is there beyond that? Now you will have to, I'll read it and you will have to point out what I have read. Only not you, huh? But you will have to point out what I have read, okay? And there is something different which I am reading. So I have read now all the states of jhana, okay? Now I'll read this and you have to point out what is that. So again, students, by completely surmounting the base of nothingness, Sariputta entered upon and abided in the base of neither perception nor non-perception. He emerged mindful from that attainment. Having done so, he contemplated the states that had passed, ceased, and changed. Thus, so indeed, those states not having been come into being, having been, they vanish. So, what was the difference in this reading? Huh? Huh? Yes. So, how is he not there? He is talking in the past tense. Till now, he spoke in the present tense. So, I'll read it once again. He emerged mindful from that attainment. So, in all the things he said, he entered into that. Now he's saying he emerged from it. So, the difference is that so all the states he was entering. Now he says, I emerged from it. Having done so, he contemplated the states that had passed, ceased, and changed. So he is coming back and reporting what has happened, not experiencing in the present tense. So till now he was experiencing everything in the present tense. And now he says that so indeed those states not having been come into being, having been, they vanish. So he is saying that okay, these states are not there but come into being and vanish. And the name is also very interesting. It is neither perception. So you cannot say there is perception. Perception is linked to consciousness. Okay. So we can say that one person is cannot be said to be conscious. Neither non-perception. And we cannot say there is no consciousness also. So we cannot say there is perception, nor we can say there is no perception. So it's a very fine, refined state. So when you are there in this fine, refined mind state, you are not able to do any contemplation. You are not able to do anything. But when you emerge from it, only then you contemplate it. Okay? Certain times how you experience it in meditation is, oh, I think I was not there. Did I fall asleep? Or did I not fall asleep? But I'm not feeling groggy. Okay, I'm not feeling when you fall asleep and get up, you feel a little bit groggy. No, I'm feeling very alert, and certain times the alertness grows when you are there. And then, was I there? Was I not there? Or you sit for say 2 hours, wake up and you are feeling that it has been only half an hour, and you wake up and see, oh, it has been already 2 hours. So that is the mindset which is there. So it is very subtle. You will miss it initially. Then what you do is you will then close your eyes if that's something like that, and then just examine what has happened. So like Sariputta did. So what did he do is having done so, he contemplated the state that had passed, ceased, and changed. Thus, so indeed, this stage not having been come into being, having been, they vanish. So he looks back. Regarding those states, he abided unattracted, unrepelled, independent, detached, free, dissociated, with a mind rid of barrier. He understood there is an escape beyond, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is. So now he's saying that this fine, refined state of mind, still there is something beyond that also. And he attained it, and then only he said that it is there. Okay. So now when we are going through this neither perception or non-perception, as you can understand, it is very difficult to talk about it. So I was in that state. If you say, then you are saying that I was aware. If you are aware, then you are not in that state. Okay. If you say I have no awareness of that, then that is also not the case. It is saying neither non-perception. So you cannot talk about that in a very conventional way. So Bhante has devised a way to kind of talk about that state of mind, where he takes two states of mind, which is nothingness and neither perception of non-perception, and we say it is a quiet mind, the state of quiet mind. Okay, so certain times when you are in nothingness, there are two states of mind in nothingness also. In one state of mind, you are able to still share this feeling of equanimity, and once a point your mind is still, and the sharing of it is difficult. So when mind is still, then in that still mind, we say that you are in a quiet mind, and we also discuss certain points which are of either perception or non-perception. That is a way of conversation and understanding. Okay, and certain times when you are in stillness, you may slip into neither perception or non-perception without knowing, and that is also okay. The mind knows, and mind sees this impermanence which is there, the impersonality which is there. So it is very close, up close, the impersonality, and the impermanence which is there is very closely examined by the mind, and thus it gives up. He gives up nothing also. That nothingness is also given up. That refined state is also given up, and that is results in the next state of mind. Again, student, by completely surmounting the base of neither perception nor non-perception, Sariputta entered upon and abided in the cessation of perception and feeling. Okay? Cessation of perception, feeling, and consciousness also we can say. If there is no perception, there is no feeling, there is no consciousness. So there is nothing which is there. Okay? In the neither perception or non-perception, there you cannot say there is there or not there. But over here we can say it is a state where there is no consciousness. So there is a cessation of perception and feeling. And his stains were destroyed by his seeing with wisdom. So his attachments which are there, the defilements which are there, but defilements were destroyed. Why? Because he saw that reality. So I was giving the example of the cup with the poison or the medicine. So he will not again take the poison cup because he knows the reality. So that poison cup is given up at this state of understanding. So when they go into cessation, then he understands that his stains are destroyed by his seeing with wisdom. So with wisdom, he sees, oh, the reality. It is this way. This is the way the reality is. And by giving up that, he emerged mindful from that state. So now again, he is talking in the past tense. So when he is there, he does not know. Before going, he does not know. While going, he does not know. While he is there, he does not know. Before coming, he does not know. While coming out, he does not know. But after coming back, he knows. Okay? That's the reason he talks in past tense. Having done so, he recalled the states that had passed, ceased, and changed. So indeed, these states not having been come into being, having been, they vanish. That is the cessation state also vanishes because he becomes conscious again. Regarding those states, he abided unattracted, unrepelled, independent, detached, free, dissociated, with a mind rid of barriers. He understood there is no escape beyond, and with the cultivation of that attainment, he confirmed that there is not. So, the cessation of perception and feeling is the last stage of your practice. And after that, there is a understanding which comes. That is the Nibbāna state, which is the understanding which arises, and you know what is there, what is real and what is unreal, what is the reality. And when you are in line with the reality, then you cannot go wrong. Okay? So, but you are not beyond the physicality. So, if you have a physical body, there may be pain, but there will not be any aversion to the pain. Mindfully, you can experience that. Buddha himself had back pain. Buddha also, in his old age, 6 months into his before passing away, he fell ill multiple times, and there is a description of the pain which the Buddha felt, and the amount of pain he would get, headaches. It is like two people kind of having a cloth strung and squeezing his kind of brain. That kind of pain he experienced, but he said he did not have dukkha because he could mindfully experience that thing. So physicality is still there, but the mental kind of aversions which are there is totally given up. So the person is normal, but he is not kind of having any mental problems he is creating for himself or others also. So that is the state of mind which is considered to be an arahant. So he has given all greed, all aversions, all delusions. A delusion is what? Taking it personally. This is me, this is mine, this is myself. So there is no taking it personally of anything which happens. Students, rightly speaking, were it to be said of anyone, he has attained mastery and perfection in the noble virtue. Noble virtue is what? The precepts which are there. Noble virtues for a kind of the monk is 227. Okay, for you we are giving how many? 8 precepts. Okay, and lay life it is 5 precepts. So it is in that sense. So he is mastery and perfection in the noble virtue. Attain mastery and perfection in the noble collectedness or concentration, samadhi. Attain mastery and perfection, noble. Uh, Attain mastery and perfection, noble wisdom. Attain mastery and perfection in noble deliverance. Deliverance is what? Mukti, vimukti. So you are free. So he has attained his freedom. What he has attained his freedom from? All the cravings which are there, attachments, aversions and delusions. All that is free. It is of Sariputta indeed that rightly speaking this should be said. Students, rightly speaking, were it to be said of anyone, he is a son of the Blessed One, born of his breast, born of his mouth, born of the Dhamma, created by the Dhamma, and the heir in the Dhamma. So, not an heir in material things. It is of Sariputta indeed that, rightly speaking, this should be said. Dhamma is the teaching, and Dhamma can also be said to be truth. So, there are many words in Pali which have multiple meanings. Dhamma is also the nature, okay, or the quality of things. The quality of water is to flow. Yes. It is Sanskrit and Pali. So that is no difference. Students, the matchless wheel of the Dhamma, set rolling by the Tathagata, is kept rolling rightly by Sariputta. So the Buddha said that when this teaching is there, it is to taking forward, Sariputta is helping. That is what the Blessed One said. The students were satisfied and delighted in the Blessed One's words. So this is showing the whole process which is there. So you start with a mind which has distractions, which has hindrances. Now that hindrances get subsided. Then you are in a mind which has still thinking which is there, examining thoughts is there. There is some joy comes up, there is some happiness comes up, there is unification of mind is there. Then as you give up the thinking and examining also. And then you have joy is there, happiness is there, unification of mind is there, equanimity is there. Then you give up the joy also, the gross thing which is there, you give up. The fine thing of happiness you keep. And that fine thing of happiness also you give up. And then you give up the perception of form also. Then you give up the perception of space. You give up perception of consciousness. Then you come into nothingness. Then a finer mind state, neither perception nor perception. And another mind state which has given up the perception itself. And there you gain understanding. When you come out of that state, you gain understanding. So we'll go through more detail into how this cessation happens and all these things. We'll go into much more detail as we go through this retreat. We'll be reading more and more details. So tomorrow we'll take 107, Majjhima Nikaya 107, which is Ganaka Moggallana Sutta, where the Buddha is showing the whole of the teaching in a step-by-step way. So the question which is asked is, can you explain this whole teaching in a step-by-step fashion? So Buddha says, yes, I can do that. So it shows how. And I'll kind of parallelly relate to our practice which is happening over here. Okay? In our practice which we are doing, this retreat has all the components of the Buddha teaching. So what the Buddha is teaching to his disciples, that we are seeking over here. And we are teaching the Buddha's words itself. Okay? We don't claim to be a proprietary teaching. So this is the teaching which is there. So if you have any questions related to meditation or this sutta, you can ask. And there are certain written questions also that also I'll take. Yes. So these are available online. If you want, we can also provide. There is a WhatsApp group which has been made, so I can provide the text because for my own reading I have had, but I don't have everything. But I have most of the suttas I have in a Word format. I can put it on the WhatsApp group. Yeah, later. Any other questions? How? Yes. It is a interesting space. You will when you are there only then. That is difficult to talk. If it is deep sleep, then you are no consciousness. No? Correct. It is, but deep sleep still you are. There are certain places where you are not aware. Awareness is not there, so it cannot be said that there is no awareness. It cannot be said there is awareness. It's a very kind of a foggy area of mind. It's best not to go into detail of that. Just to say that if something like that happens, just examine. So you will kind of feel that which is there, and it is basically the mind. If it goes into that stage, it gains certain understanding of the impermanence which is there. It gains understanding the impersonality which is there, because there is no personal will which is active over there. But then still there is a cognition active, but we cannot say it is active also, we cannot say it is not active also, but that is a way which is there, but the mind understands that mind state. Yes. So as I told you, till fourth jhana you can do metta. After that, as you grow, you can automatically it will change. It can go into compassion. Compassion is a little softer feeling which is there. Then there is joy which is there, but this is a very refined joy. It's not a joy. It's called sympathetic joy. Mudita is the Pali word for it. So the mudita which is there is a very refined kind of joy, which is very kind of a nice feeling which is there. That also goes away. Then there is this feeling of nothing. That is the equanimity. So that all this will automatically happen. You are not creating it. You are observing it. So when you are there in the, I given some instructions for directions today. So there I kind of give that instruction also, that you observe what is there. Don't try to control it. Okay. Or however it happens, you are just observing it. So there are certain people who have still to kind of give instructions. Today I had given it to one person who had not come, and you are still to get that instructions, no? After that. So after that you can meet Bhante Karunapanya, and then we can do it. And we will go through the some logistics things also with him. How to differentiate between being patient, kind to self, and not pushing hard enough. So it is individualistic. So being patient and kind to self and not being hard is a individual thing you have to figure out. It's like walking on a tightrope. How much left you have to be and how much right you have to be to walk on the tightrope. You will know when you are there on the tightrope, that how much left you have to be. Sometimes you are becoming too much left, then you have to come right. So that walking on the tightrope is the finding of your balance. So in the practice, you have to find your own balance. There are no easy steps. If there is a hard practice, we know you hard, punch, 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 and then you get harder, harder, harder. But if you want to get the middle, then your middle is different from my middle. Okay, her middle is different from your middle. So then everybody's middle is different. So you would have to figure out that middle. You have to have some kind of effort which has to be taken. So if it feels too constrained, then it is you are going in the one direction which is that. Then you dial it back. But if you become very kind of complacent, then you have to put in some energy, some encouragement, so that the zeal which is there, enthusiasm which is there, ardent. So that all those things which is there, resolute, ardent, and all those things will come when you are become too complacent. You are getting up every 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and you have to push yourself to sit. And if you are sitting in the way that when you get up, you're not able to walk, or you're hurting yourself, there is pain which is there, then you say, okay, I've overdone by sitting. So then you may sit in a more comfortable way and kind of balance. So in that way, you have to constantly balance yourself. Okay? Is the object the smiling face of the spiritual friend, the feeling that they are receiving? metta from us. The intention, may you be happy, or just the residual state of mind when all this is said and done. So it should be your attention. All of this could be your object of meditation, and it can still be just the feeling which is there. When your attention is there in the feeling, you may just intend. The intention is, may my friend feel this. Without verbalization, also that intention can be there. That what I have, I want to share. So that's just the mindset which you have said. That what I have, I'm just sharing. So that sharing intention is there, but your attention is still there with the feeling which is there. Okay? Yeah, you're right.
Um, so if we're playing a piano, right? Our object is to play music, and how we're playing that music, we're going to have sometimes the attention be on the white keys, sometimes on the black keys, sometimes on the pedal. Our attention will, with this metta meditation, the attention is mostly with this feeling, but these other parts are there in the awareness. So the object is as a whole to have this feeling and to share it with our friend. That makes sense.
If the feeling is neutral, then just stay with the neutral feeling for a while. Okay? And then if you feel that it is not changing, then bring up a memory and try and feel that feeling once again. Okay? And if still you have some questions, we can speak tomorrow. Okay? And maybe there is a preaching practice which is there. We can give you that can help you kind of get over, because certain times there are some certain blocks which are there that can be overcome. Okay? So you can maybe you will be speaking to her tomorrow. Housekeeping question. Could we ask everyone to pile up the extra cushions we were using at the back of the room when we know we will be gone for some time, not when we go out for a quick stretch or bio break. This way, those of us who remain in the sala can make use of the free cushions without feeling we are stealing them. Okay, that is a good idea. So it's a way of kind of being kind to others also. That if you say that your session is over or something like that, just keep the cushions in the bag. It will be an indication that it is for others' use. Yes.
And there may be some more cushions elsewhere. I don't know if that's the case, but I can maybe.
और है क्या हमारे पास जो हमारे तकिए है, तो कुछ cushions लेके आएंगे अभी नहीं, कल अपने अपने समय से एक हिसाब से, तो यहाँ पे कम पड़ रहे थे तो थोड़े लेके आएंगे. So we'll ask for some extra cushions also.
Can we maybe get a quick idea of who would like some more cushions? You want to raise your hand?
Okay.
Okay. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you all want one? Do you want two?
Let him bring a bunch of.
Okay, so yeah, more than 8 would be good. On that same note, who would like to sit in a chair that doesn't have one right now? You're in a chair, good, you're doing well. Anyone else that isn't sitting in a chair that would like one? Got one? Anyone else?
Put chairs भी लेके आओ. So we'll get some chairs and cushions. Okay? So one of those questions is, can I use Anapana breath as a gateway to Metta Bhavana, just to calm, clear and focus the mind? Also, can I have Bhante KP, Karunapanyu, as my spiritual friend? So it is up to you. So that is up to you. We don't have any kind of restrictions. You have any restrictions? No.
No restrictions.
No restrictions.
Yeah, please do. Use the metta.
So one of the things is that breathing is a habit. Okay, and when you have done breathing in the past, there is a habitual tendency which you are aware of, and we are learning something new. So try and go beyond that breathing. Okay, but one of the things is it is not that you are totally zero attention on breathing. Awareness of breathing will be there. It's okay. Huh? So it may just push it in the background, in the awareness. Just because you are aware, then you don't fight the breathing also. Then you will go to the other extreme, as we are talking about. Then going into breathing meditation and then coming into metta would be another extreme, because then you are not going over your habitual tendencies. You are reinforcing your habits of breathing. So the way we are doing the practice can be distorted. That's the reason I said do not add anything and do not remove anything. So that the first day instructions is that. So it will help, but don't fight your awareness of the breathing also. That awareness of the breathing will go away, because I also know, because I used to do breathing meditation for about 2 years, and when I came to this, my awareness of breathing was prominent for a long time, and then it stopped, because I was committed to a new habitual tendency, the new practice. So just keep it. What you can do is, when you sit, you start with relaxation. That would help. So relax your kind of the head, relax the back of your neck. That will kind of relax your shoulders, relax the torso, then relax your limbs. Okay, relax your arms and legs. That way, just give yourself a minute of relaxation and see that relaxation, smile, and just stay with that feeling, and then it will be easier. Sometimes when you are just relaxing and smiling, you may feel this feeling which is there, then you don't bother with the memory also. Okay, if you sit now, anytime you are sitting, relax for a minute and see what is the feeling over here. If there is a faint feeling also, a positive faint feeling, then just stay with that, don't bother with the memory. And if it feels difficult, as I explained, to kind of use verbalization, stop verbalization also. Just have this intention of sharing with the friend. Directly, you can sit, see the feeling is there, and then share, have the intention of sharing with your friend. Okay? So just try that, and that will help.
Are breathing
Uh, there can be in certain practices, but in our practice we do not kind of because the way Bhante Dhammagavesi started using, because he started inside we call it this practice initially was called tranquil wisdom inside meditation. Tranquil wisdom inside meditation was based on Anapanasati Sutta, was breathing meditation. But they found that when his students used to come, they did not have the ability to kind of get over their habitual tendencies and use the 6 hours technique, which is that. Thus, moving to something which is very completely different, which was metta meditation, helped the participants. That's how he settled with the Brahma Vihara practice or the metta practice. That's the reason we gave it a name of metta vipassana. Okay. Yeah.
So just on this point, and some of the things Bhante also covered earlier today, with the sutta and this practice in general. But in this sutta, we see that there is this gradual giving up, right? Giving up thought, and then, well, first giving up of unwholesome states, and then giving up thought, and then even the joy calms down. Right? This process is one of gradually letting go, not of building up, not of creating something. So lots of meditation processes in other places will have a large emphasis on this creation, right? You should really focus on the breath when you have this perception, or you should really be very active in scanning the body or something like this. Not that there's so much wrong with that, but this is really the emphasis here, is what happens when you let go of creating? What happens when you let your mind simply be natural? The 6 hours to let go of all these things and to see what's left. When we see what's left, joy, happiness comes there naturally without having to create anything. So the practice of breathing, while it can be helpful and things like that, yeah, we're just asking that you really see what this practice is about, so that you can see the natural nature of your mind without anything added to it.
And you are overcoming a habit. So it's okay that you struggle with that also. It's okay that it may take some time. to kind of get over your habitual tendencies and everything. As I said yesterday also, patience leads to Nibbāna. Okay, so some amount of patience is required in practice. Each person has come with a different kind of baggage, and will go with a different kind of understanding. Okay, everybody over here is on a different journey. Okay, individual. So there is nothing wrong happening, and there is nothing which is going wrong in this practice. So wherever you are, you work with what you have in the present. Okay, it is not supposed to be in this way or that way. So one of the examples which I gave before also, this is we went through the jhanas. So once Sariputta, sorry, Ananda was asked, how can we reach Nibbāna? The Sariputta said, we can reach Nibbāna through first jhana. When the first jhana is there, we understand how the things are arising and passing away, how impermanence is there. So now impermanence is related to dukkha. Okay, so when I say impermanence, so this is a nice milkshake. Say I am having this milkshake. What is the characteristic of the milkshake? Is that it was no milkshake was there. Now there is milkshake. After I consume, there will be no milkshake. Then what happens is you take your finger and then you are fighting with the impermanence of the milkshake. Or take a spoon and try to scrape the last drop of the milkshake. That's the dukkha you are facing of the milkshake because of the impermanence of the milkshake. Okay, so that is how that is there. So everything which is there, when you have impermanence, you are also experiencing the dukkha of it. The impersonality is because this thing which is there is not created by you. So the attachment which is there is also not created, it is there. So, and it can, it is by causes and conditions is attachment. So some people really like milkshake, and some people will say, I will not have it even if you pay me. Okay, why? Because each person has this attachment in a different manner. One is of aversion, and one is of attraction. But that is a thing which has been uh, causes and conditions has created that. It is an impersonal preference in a way. So when you understand impermanence, you also understand dukkha, you also understand impersonal. So in the first jhana, you can see these things, as he said, everything which was happening, and you can reach the Nibbāna state. You can do it in the second jhana. You can do it in the third jhana. You can do it in the fourth jhana. You can do it in arupa jhana of infinite space, infinite consciousness and nothingness. Only contemplation is not possible in neither perception or non-perception. You can do it with metta. The feeling of metta is there. You can see the impermanence of that. The metta was not there. Now I feel so good, and now I don't feel. So impermanence of that metta you can see. You can see the resistance which is there. When it is there, you want to hold on to it. The resistance you can see the personality also. Based on causes and conditions, the feeling of metta comes. Based on the falling of the causes and conditions, metta feeling goes away. Okay. Then you can see the same thing in the compassion. You can see the same thing in the nothingness also. Okay, or joy also. Even in the equanimity, you can experience the same thing. So you can experience this same impermanence in any state of mind. So wherever you are, you will be able to examine and gain wisdom. So there is no superior or inferior as such. So if you are doing this, you are in an inferior state of mind. If you are doing this, you are in a superior state of mind. Is also just a construct. It is also just a concept which is there. So there is no inferior or superior. The practice is about insight. So you will gain insight in the first jhana with the struggle, and you can gain insight with the arupa jhanas, with the refined states of mind. The insight is the same. How these things are impermanent. How we are resisting. Resisting can be holding on to, repelling. So unrepelled, unattracted. So how we can be unrepelled, unattracted? It is same in the arupa jhanas. In the same it is in the first jhana, or in the struggle of hindrances. So in the struggle of hindrances also you are learning. So there is no state of mind where you are there which is called inferior. Because in all states of mind, you are able to gain insight. So wherever you are there, you are gaining some understanding. So there is nothing to, but mind changes based on the things which are there. It changes naturally. If it changes, you have to change with it, and you need to know where you are in the relative and what you do in each state of mind. That is also there, but it is not considered to be better or worse. So that is what it is. So I'll just take this one question also. Should we be reading other textbooks at different points in the day? So no, don't read anything other than the booklet which I have given you. This booklet, only this booklet, and other than that, do not read anything. Okay, you don't want your mind to be distracted. But the same question for writing. Should we journal our thoughts? I don't write to self or others during the practice. That is okay. See, journaling can clarify our thoughts. And certain times when you write it down, if you see it in writing, you will have certain amount of understanding which is different from a contemplation. So writing is okay, but do not be too much writing or kind of write say 100 pages a day or something like that. Don't go into too much also. A little bit of write. That's the reason we give notepads also. There are certain points you want to note it down. We provide notepads and pens. And certain retreats you go, there is no notepads and pens also. But we do provide because some amount of writing can be helpful. Okay, to clarify your thoughts and clarify this thing, which is your understanding. So, can we have guided meditation for a few days? Can we?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that.
Okay. Anybody who is not wanting the guided meditation? Okay, so what should the goal of this retreat be? How to think about it? So the goal is to understand, as I was just saying just now, is to deepen your understanding. Deepen, because one thing I always say is the world which we deal with. Because I was quite, I'm a vigilant man before I actually got in touch with the Buddha's teaching. I used to listen to Buddha's teaching because my father was a Osho fan and he used to get these cassettes and listen to that. So as a child, I also listened, but that is a different way of consuming the teaching of the Buddha. But as a practical thing, I find that this is the tool I had. The mind was the tool I had, but I did not know how to use it. I was into kind of self help and everything. When I was a teenager, I read Think and Grow Rich, but but I did not grow rich. But I used to go through all these things, Dale Carnegie, how to stop worrying and start living, how to make friends, all these books I used to. So I was interested in improving myself, but I never could kind of know how the Buddha is approaching. The Buddha approached it in a fundamental manner. So one of the basic things I was myself surprised. You may be not. You may be more intelligent than me and wiser than me. But I never knew the unwholesome state of mind and wholesome state of mind. It was all my state of mind. So when I was angry, I'm angry and I'm right about it. And if I'm kind of happy, I'm happy and I'm right about it. So I had no understanding that there is states of mind. One of the easiest explanation of immediately effective. The Buddha's practice is immediately effective, they say. So the Buddha gives the explanation. He says that when you see your mind, if this is unwholesome, you know there is a mind is unwholesome. If there is wholesomeness, then you know there is wholesomeness in the mind. That is immediately effective. So when people come and say to me, "Oh, my mind was busy and it was very kind of painful," but now there is awareness of your mind. Initially, when it is there, you were doing something else. What you are doing, you are distracting yourself. You are suppressing, but you did not know how to let go of that, not to fight with it. So that is how we gain understanding with the teaching of the Buddha. We understand the tool which we are using in our life is the tool which we least examine or develop. The mind is a tool. So mind is the forerunner of all good states and evil states. Mind is chief. Mind made are they. Huh? So we are mind made, but we do not work with our mind. because we don't know how to develop our mind. So this is the goal, which is that to wisdom, to develop our wisdom. Sending metta is confusing. What does it mean? Using verbal use. So that is what I said. Don't send, don't push, don't kind of give. Just have the intention that as I feel, let my friend also feel this way. So it way, this is also a generosity. Generosity is a very nice thing. It starts with the mind, and also the hell also starts with the mind by blaming somebody, having harmful thoughts about somebody, wishing somebody ill. That also, hell also starts with the mind. Heaven also starts with our mind. So when you are in a generous mode, what you are saying is, what I feel, just let my friend also have that intention and be with that intention. So you are not sending anything. If you are trying to send something, then you put in too much effort. Then you don't know. I am not feeling this going or something like that, and you get confused. But just have trust in this process and say, what I feel, let my friend also feel this way. If he feels or not, does not matter. But what matters is our wholesome mind state. The mind state which is saying that I want him to be happy. That actually makes you into a positive thing, you know. The Buddha talks about the positive mind state and the negative. At least you are getting into the positive mind state and stay in the positive mind state. So that is what you do. Okay.
While it can be that, the word metta itself comes from the word for friend. So it's really, at its most basic, just this friendliness. You see a puppy or a kitten and you feel friendly toward them. It's light, it's easy. So you don't have to make it be something really big or expect it to be really big. It can be very easy.
Any other questions?
Would it be actually generally gather a mind?
We need to have an anchor to know our attention. So the definition of mindfulness which was given was remembering to observe how your mind's attention moves from one thing to another. If it's not on one thing, how do you know it is on the other? So that is the reason that is a object of meditation is important. Yes.
Description of the jhānas. Never mentioned the essence, but it is because it is another of mindfulness
Mindfulness is there, yeah.
Presence, like to be present.
Present means your attention is there. Where your attention is there you are.
Okay.
The presence, you may kind of use a different word, but it means the same, the attention. So the decision, all these things is there, which is, you have to be present, no, for that. Yeah, you had some things you wanted to share. You have one more question, yeah. It can be. That is the reason I said the fourth jhana which is there, as I gave you the example of the tipping. So supernatural can be also attained if your mind is inclined. So not everybody's mind is inclined also. So, but if you don't incline your mind towards that, but you incline your mind towards understanding, then you go progressively into the Arupa jhanas and go in that direction. You can incline it to psychic abilities also. Bhante was not interested in psychic abilities, so he said that I did not kind of go into that direction. But there are certain things which he was able to do, like seeing past lives, which helped Sister Khema also. So it's interesting that she was, I think, 55 or something like that, and she was working on a gutter, so cleaning the gutters. So then she suddenly kind of developed a fear of heights. So she could not go up the ladder. She said, I could do it yesterday, today I cannot do it. And she had mortal fear of falling. Then Bhante said that I have no other worker, I have to help her get over her fear, you know. So then Bhante kind of taught her how to go and see the past lives. Then she saw that many lifetimes she had fallen around that age of 55 from heights. And when she saw this in the past life, he said it has nothing to do with my current life. It was all in the past. This has happened. Then after she was able to see that, Bande asked her to go on the tower. There is a watchtower which is there for fires. They put. So they have 100-acre area which we had. So they had a fire watchtower also. So she went up and she looked down and she had no fear after that. So sometimes you can use that skillfully. Uh, my mind is not inclined towards those things. So I never went towards any psychic, and Bhante is also not inclined. He was naturally able to go and access certain things, but his mind also was not inclined towards that. So it is also based on inclination. But there are students of mine who have won certain kind of psychic abilities without even trying. So there was a lady who had come to one of our retreats, and she said she was sitting in a meditation room, which was a kind of pagoda was made. It's in Mahabodhi, Bangalore. There is a pagoda which is there. There are cells which are there for individual meditation. So when she was there, she could hear something happening outside very clearly, like rustling of the grass, the kind of the breeze, and all these things. Then I said that kind of don't pay attention, just continue meditation. Then when she went home, she developed a little more. She was sitting in her apartment, and then she saw that I'm listening to somebody talking, and she looked, and then in the distance, another building, there were people talking, and she could listen clearly what they were kind of conversing. And then later on, she could listen to people who were in different countries. And whenever somebody talks about her, she listen. She could kind of listen to that conversation. And then, but that was not good for her. She said that everybody is talking bad about me. So she gave up actually the meditation for some time to get rid of that ability. So listening is not a very nice thing. Bhante used to say. Bhante used to say that what is happening in your mind, this and that garbage is going on in your mind. If you read others' mind, that garbage is still going on in that mind also. So there is no benefit for that. So sometimes it can happen because your mind is inclined and you can happen. Bhante's kind of students had more psychic abilities, other psychic abilities also, but that happened naturally. It was not given by Bhante or my students are also having certain psychic abilities, but that was also because of the inclination of mind. And in this case, it was not a happy kind of ability which was gained. So it can be, but then it can also become a hindrance, because when you are pursuing something which can develop your ego and identification, then our real goal of understanding and going deeper can get hindered. So it is not a desired outcome. If it happens naturally, then it is okay. Because one of the things about Buddha's disciples also, when they are asked, how did you develop this ability? He said, oh, I had this inclination of mind in the past life. That's the reason I have developed it. So that is okay. Then you are able to control it, because there is no ego identification with that ability. So if you don't have that ego identification, then you are able to let go and be with it, or it is or ignore that thing. Yes. Yes.
Across all the levels towards and decision making, how there are probably different levels to share more.
See, decision is letting go of certain things, being there in the practice, or getting up. So those are the decisions. There are many decisions when you are sitting in the practice, which is there. Should I move or not move? Should I respond to this sound, or this pain, or something like that? So there are many decisions you make in the practice when you are sitting. So those are there. Zeal is to give yourself the enthusiasm to continue. Should I continue? Should I sit longer? Because certain times you want to sit longer to experience that quieter state of mind. That time, those things. So those are the constant things which are happening in the practice. So you will be aware, even if you sit in your practice and be aware of it, you'll be able to see those decisions being made. The zeal is there. You'll be able to see those things in operation. So just be aware of it, and but don't be too focused. Just have that awareness that I want to see, and let do the practice now. Then you will be able to examine and gain more understanding.
These four levels are also related to levels of
No, consciousness is very practical in Buddha's kind of teaching. So when we go to the kind of dependent origination, we'll say that it's very functional. So as I said, when there is an I, there's an I object and there's I consciousness. So it comes, consciousness only comes because of the causes and conditions. And as the causes and conditions change, the consciousness also changes. So consciousness as an independent entity is not possible. But dependent origination kind of gives you how this consciousness is possible. The I consciousness possible when the I is there. I'm seeing you. Now I close my eye. Is the I consciousness active now? No, because my eyes are closed. Now I listen to you. I stop listening. Then my ear consciousness is not functioning. Okay. If you are smelling something, and you put some cotton buds into your mouth, or whatever you are smelling, you keep it aside. Then as the ear consciousness or nose consciousness is there, no. Will the if there is nothing in the mouth, not tasting anything, the tongue consciousness is not active. If you are not touching anything, touch consciousness is not active. If you are not thinking anything, the thought consciousness is not active. So that is all based on causes and conditions. It arises, and by the ending changing of causes and conditions, it goes. So consciousness as is a very practical way the Buddha is explaining consciousness. But without consciousness, nothing is possible. The practice also gives a lot of importance to consciousness, that neither perception nor non-perception. So now perception is a part of the consciousness. You cannot take out the consciousness from perception or feeling. Cessation of perception and feeling. So then consciousness is not there. No? If there is no cessation of, if one is not there, the other two is not there. If one is unconscious, you cannot say it is feeling or it is perceiving. And unconscious mind, can you say it is feeling or perceiving? You cannot. So these things are also together. So it is a very practical way the Buddha is explaining consciousness, and this is our level of understanding. So our relationship with those things which is arising in the present and how we are able to let go and not hold on to it is our relationship and our understanding. Our wisdom is developing and our understanding developing, and then that in line with that understanding, our mind states are there. So they are important and they are not important also. So one way, if you look at it, as I was giving an example of the prism, one way you look at it, it is important, the mind states, and one way you look at it, it is not important. But you stay with your reality. If you are going deeper into jhanas, then that is your reality, and you work with that. If you are not able to go deeper, then that's your reality, but you can still work with that. So there is in every state of mind, you will be able to work. Now we can. You had to.
So just some administrative reminders. So tomorrow, Group A will be coming to me, and Group B will be going to Bhante. So one thing I wanted to check.
You can switch this off.